Hi there guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Tian Conradi, I'm the Flying Dutchman or TFD, and we're going to test some shoes today. I'm going to compare running a mile in the Nike Vaporfly Next percent versus running a mile in the Zoom Streak. If you've been living under a rock these last few years, this is the shoe that everyone's been talking about in terms of performance enhancement. It's got a carbon fiber plate that goes around the mid shoe that is being accused of acting as a spring to push everybody forward and in that way enhances performance. The IAAF has ruled and said that the shoe is legal as it stands at the moment. So we're going to test this shoe, and we're going to test it against something that's a little bit more traditional, old school, low profile, flexible kind of shoe. Something I've always actually kind of preferred, but since the Vaporfly has come out, it really has made a big difference, seeing as my 5, 10 and 21k PBs have all fallen under the Next percent. So I've measured out a course 1 mile, and we'll start off with the Vaporfly, and then we'll go into the Zoom Streak, and we'll compare the performances between the two and see if the benefit of the Vaporfly really is as much as 4%, maybe a little bit more than 4% even, or whether or not an old school shoe like the Zoom Streak still has some value in terms of a racing shoe. So yeah, see you guys out there. So I've done my warm-up routine. I'm ready to hit the road. I'll put the link up here for you guys, and you can see the routine that I follow, that I normally use when I do a time trial or a race or something like that. So muscles are properly warm. I'm ready to hit the road. I hope I can get close to 5 minutes, maybe even go a little bit under 5 minutes, but you never know. With these magic shoes, anything is possible. So let's see what these babies can do. Okay, so I didn't get anywhere near 5 minutes, needless. Not even go there. 5:41 I think it was. That was the Vaporfly. I've actually done quite a few runs with the Vaporfly, so my 5k, 10k and 21k PBs have all fallen into the Vaporfly. So I was a bit surprised that I couldn't go quicker than that, but I have to make an excuse. It's a bit windy out, and the course might not be the fastest or flattest 1 mile you'll ever find, but yeah, that's half the fun, I guess. So next up, we're gonna give the Zoom Streak a go. No carbon plate, level to the ground, a little bit more flexible, so I should be working a bit harder in that shoe. Hopefully I can match my Vaporfly time. That would be first prize, but yeah, I'll put up the heart rate data and the pace and speed data afterwards. So yeah, let's give them a go. Okay, so the Zoom Streak won by a second. 5:40 in the Zoom Streak versus 5:41 in the Vaporfly. I think you can possibly argue that the Vaporfly's carbon plate only comes into effect over longer distances. So maybe like over the marathon or over a half marathon. I don't think that's the case though. I'll put the data up for you guys, and you can see the difference in heart rate from between the Zoom Streak and the Vaporfly, and it's obvious that I worked a lot harder because I'm not getting a lot of help from the shoes. Preference wise, the Zoom Streak felt a lot better, but I've always liked a low profile shoe. I always like to feel connected to the ground. That's something you don't get from the Vaporfly. I really like that. I felt a lot faster in the Zoom Streak comparatively, even though I was a little bit slower after the 1K mark. I was about 4 seconds slower than the Vaporfly. You know, in terms of preference, I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that feel of it. Cadence-wise, you can see both were the same. So neither the shoes affected my cadence. I traditionally lengthen my stride when I run hard, so my cadence is a little bit on the slow side. But then again, that's just the way that I've always done. I've always run when I go hard. Yeah, speed-wise is fairly similar. It basically boils down to the work rate that you have to put in to get to the same place, versus in the carbon fiber shoe, where you work less harder. The shoe does more of the work, and I guess that's where a lot of the purists stood against the Vaporfly, because it's not just about the athlete anymore. It's about the enhancement and technology of the shoes that aids the athlete. You know, so a lot of guys were against the Vaporfly from the get-go in that regard. So the million-dollar question is, do you go out and buy yourself a carbon-plated shoe, or do you just stick with your old-school racing shoes? And the straight-out answer is you get both. I think there's room for both in any rotation. Actually, I think it's important to have both. It's important to have one shoe that doesn't add any benefit, a shoe that allows you to do the work, that allows your feet, your calves, your Achilles to function and to really strengthen as you go through your running gait. Whereas with something like the Vaporfly, there's so much assistance there that you don't get the same benefit out of them that you would out of training with a Zoom Streak, for instance. So I think a carbon plated shoe has a place in rotation, but for me it's a lot more longer distance and maybe just race specific, so that you can get maximum training out of the other shoes that you have in your rotation. Yeah, I had a boatload of fun making this video, so press the like button if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel, and we'll do this again. Cheers!